What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're coming at you with another deck list, deck profile, deck update, whatever you like to call them. And this is my Mass Beast deck for January 2025. If you don't know, the Mass Beast boys basically revolves around these guys, which is your Grand Tiki Elder and your Melkid the Four-Faced Beast. I know they don't look like much, but we'll get into it. As well as some other cards like the Mass Beast himself and the Mass Beast Asgardius. But we'll get to them when we kind of get to them. But we do have 3 of each of these boys. You could take the numbers down. We're trying it out with 3 of each. I'd probably recommend maybe taking the numbers down, but it's up to you. 3 of each of those boys. Next, we move into 2 Summoner Monk. Basically, with the Summoner Monk, you can bring out one of these guys, and for the Mass Beast Asgardius, you can get him out by having, by tributing one of these. We'll get kind of to that, but that's what the Summoner Monk is for. What it does is, well, this card is face up on the field, cannot be tributed. If this card is normal or flip summon, change this card to defense position, and once per turn, you can discard 1 spell card and special summon 1 level 4 from your deck. 1 level 4 monster from your deck, but that monster cannot attack this turn. So obviously, the whole point is just to use it for those ritual plays. Don't know why I put them there. We'll sit them on there. Next, we got the Mass Beast Asgardius himself. And what he is up to is, cannot be normal summon / set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing 2 monsters, including at least 1 Grand Tiki Elder or Melkid the Four-Faced Beast. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and equip 1 the Mask of Remnants from your deck to it. So we'll get to the Mask of Remnants as well, but we do have 2 of these boys, and you can take this up to 3. I just only have 2 at the moment, but it saves some extra room for improvements in the future. Next, we are running 2 Incantation Pencil Plume. It is, you can reveal 1 ritual monster in your hand and special summon both this card from your hand and 1 incantation monster from your deck, except Pencil Plume. And if this card is special summoned from the deck, you can target 1 ritual monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use 1 incantation Pencil Plume effect per turn, and only once that turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So obviously it locks you out a bit, which can be a problem, can not be a problem, depends on how you're playing the deck. We do only have a little bit of incantation stuff in here, but I do find it helpful, and plus we're just kind of starting out plays with the deck and seeing what works. Next we have 2 of the Candle. It is, you can reveal 1 ritual spell in your hand, and special summon both this card from your hand and 1 incantation monster from your deck, except Candle. If this card is special summoned from the deck, you can add 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and you can only use 1 incantation Candle effect per turn, and only once that turn. So obviously, similar stuff to the Pencil Plume, except, you know, he's a level 4, which can help out for some of the ritual plays because of a lot of our stuff's level 8s. Next, we are running, moving kind of into the actual ritual-y boys here. We have 3 of the Masked Beast. He can be summoned with Curse of the Masked Beast, which we do have some of in here, just for some reasons, and then some other ways to bring him out. But he is a pretty nasty little boy. And, you know, we're trying to run them. Next, we have 3 Zera the Mant. He's just a, you know, another high attack ritual monster that we can bring out with some of the stuff we have in the deck. Plus, you gotta love him. He's a classic, you know what I mean? Just a classic. Lastly, for our ritual monsters, we have 2 Revendred Executioner. He's got some weird kind of techie plays to him. That is, while this ritual summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects, except this card. So, you know, he's a great little beast to bring out, plus he's got decent attack, and he works well because of our some of our spells and ritual stuff to bring out ritual monsters. Includes Dark, plus he's also level 8, so we can kind of go back and forth for swapping, you know, using them as the levels for a ritual summon, basically, out of hand. Next, we have 2, the Mask of Remnants. It is, when this card is activated, shuffle this card from the field into the deck. So that way you could just, get it back into your deck if it's in your hand. And while this card is equipped to a monster by the effect of Mass Beast Asgardius, take control of that monster. So if you remember, Mass Beast Asgardius can get this out, basically, and you're going to be attaching it to your opponent's monster, and then taking control of it permanently, unless they get rid of it, but you know what it is. So it's a pretty pimpin' little card, plus you got all of the art on it and how it kind of fits in. Next, we have 2 Curse of the Mass Beast to use to ritual summon the Mass Beast, and also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 8 or more. So there's lots of kind of tech for that. The 8 or more is decent for getting rid of the pencil plume if you need to maybe go for 2 of them in one, stuff like that. Plus, obviously, it helps us to bring out the Mass Beast, and can be fodder for Summoner Monk as well. Next, we got 3 pre-preparation of rites. Things are a little moved around here, but 3 pre-preparation of rites. It is add 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and add 1 ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is mentioned on that ritual spell. You can only activate once per turn, but it is worth it to combo out because, of course, we have the Masked Beast ones, plus we do have a Zera ritual in here, and I'd recommend maybe bringing it up to 2, but next we have 2 Contract with the Abyss. This is a great little general piece. Here it is. This card can be used to ritual summon any dark ritual monster, and you must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels exactly equal the level of that ritual monster you are ritual summoning. So, of course, we have lots of 8s, so we can just go back and forth for different ritual monsters to bring out ritual monsters as fodder, especially for the Revendred. Lastly, like I said, just a Zera ritual. You could bring this up to 2, or a lot of these, the ritual cards can be changed out for different numbers, or possibly for different tech. And of course, this is another one where it's 8 or more, so you do have a little leeway there. Next, we have 1 Unexpected Die. If you control no monster, special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. So, of course, this is a great way to bring out some of the, Melkid the Four-Faced Beast or the Grand Tiki Elder. For some of the spell and traps of the actual Masked Beast kind of archetype, we only have a little bit of sauce. They're not the best of cards, but I could work them in more in the future, or have a deck that's maybe more focused on, like, the equippy kind of stuff that they have going on. But the Mask of the Accursed is the equipped monster cannot attack, and once per turn during the standby phase, or during your standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. So obviously it's not a super grand tech piece here, but it does fit in with the archetype, so I figured it works for now as filler. Then we just have a Swords, stop attacks for 3 turns if you need some stall piece, or it can just be something to use in the Summoner Monk's effect is cost. And then a Pot of Avarice to, return some stuff in and get some draw power. Because, of course, with the ritual monsters, you're probably going to be putting in a lot of level 4s and such into the grave. And then you recycle them, as well as maybe some of your ritual monsters, or like incantation stuff. Moving to the traps, we have 2 Compulse. Figured it was just some generic-y kind of stuff. Good little bit of removal, I guess. Then a Call of the Haunted. Would have threw a Monster Reborn. I'm unfortunately getting a little bit low on them. I have so many decks going at the moment that they are spread out. But it would probably just be a Monster Reborn there. And you could tech in some more, special summoning from the grave pieces. This is also from the archetype, the actual Masked Beast archetype. This card can only be activated in the battle phase. Select 1 attacking monster and decrease the selected monster's attack by 700 points during the turn this card is activated. A little extra sauce. It does come from the archetype and like the episode that this deck comes from, or at least like the main mask pieces. But the Mask of Weakness is another little tech piece. They have a couple other ones that I'd like to maybe try out in the deck if I can get my hands on them. But it's a fun little card. And of course, it could be maybe searched with like Trap Trick and stuff like that, if I was focusing more on a deck with those spells and traps. For the extra deck, we don't have much. We just threw in 2 Dynamondo. which is a great little piece. Obviously, if you didn't go off with the incantations that turn, you can go into this. It is two monsters, including a ritual monster. If this card is special summoned, you can target one card on the field and one ritual monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck. And during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card, then target one ritual monster in your graveyard, either add it to hand or special summon it. So, obviously, if you have multiple ritual monsters in your grave, you could send one back, keep one in there for the play, but you could just get this boy out, do some extra sauce, you know, maybe if you need to get some stuff into the graveyard or use an extra little play, or you've exhausted, you know, something on your opponent's turn, you maybe need to switch out for something, you know? There's lots of different potential with the Dynamondo. And then we just threw in a Castell. Nothing too big there. You could maybe just throw in some more generic pieces. Like I said, I'm mostly focusing the incantation stuff, and I'd like to maybe get, like, some of the other cards for that, maybe their ritual monster, focus in and see how they could mix in with the deck. But other than that, that's the main, you know, everything that I got so far. Of course, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see in future updates of the deck, or if you have any ideas on stuff I missed, or cool tech I could bring up, or how you feel about some of the numbers in the deck on some of, you know, the cards. Like I said, other than that, make sure to check out my other various videos. You know, I do deck profiles all the time, as well as different Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, guides, DIY projects, pack openings, all that good stuff. So like I said, I recommend you check that out. We do have a playlist of all our deck profiles. The link will probably be in the description, as well as possibly the comments. Otherwise, I think this is a pretty cool deck, and it's coming along. I definitely want to research some like dark ritual monsters and see if I could throw in something else other than like Vendread or Zera, and see if there's other ritual cards that could maybe be beefed up, different strats to take. So of course, like I said, leave a comment if you have something to say. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future content's coming out. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.